I know we're only a few weeks in and everyone's already talked about this, but I just wanted to check on how your New Year's resolutions are going. Because if you're anything like me, well, the cracks will have already started to appear. And I don't know about you, but I'm kind of tired of starting each year feeling like a new type of failure. And I'm sure we never set out to disappoint ourselves, but here we are again. And I can't be alone, considering close to 90% of us will just ditch our New Year's resolutions anyway. So, what possesses us to make them in the first place, given that the odds of succeeding are stacked so heavily against us? Well, what if it's not you? And it's not me, but the way that we're told to approach and define resolutions in the first place that holds us back. So, this year, instead of feeling miserable and sorry for myself, I thought I'd share ways on how to create more meaningful and lasting change that makes you feel happier and fulfilled and inspired rather than defeated and deflated, and perhaps even improve the relationship that you have with yourself and the people around you. Why does setting goals and starting new habits tend to backfire so easily? And why do resolutions end up feeling more like a self-punishment or a chore or a monumental effort, even though the intention behind them was good? Do we just get so caught up in the holiday spirit and feel influenced and inspired by all the people around us that we just need to jump on the bandwagon? But when the decorations come down and the party season ends and we get back to living the reality of our lives, we either procrastinate or avoid starting them altogether because, well, it's all just a little bit too hard. Maybe we overcommitted and took on something a little too challenging or ambitious, and now we feel guilty and embarrassed that we're not going to reach that goal at all. Maybe we were pressured into doing something that we didn't actually want in the first place, and now all that support and motivation has simply disappeared. Did you turn to the wrong people for advice? Were you just after a quick fix? Or are you too focused on the things that you can't control that you simply won't admit that you're not physically, mentally, or emotionally ready for the change? But did you ever stop to think why you resolved to do the thing in the first place? Was your heart really ever in it? And who are you actually doing it for? You know, if there's one thing that took me a long time to learn, it's that life just gets a whole lot better when you just be you. Seriously, stop trying to fit into somebody else's mold or version of what they think you should be. Instead, just embrace your uniqueness and your quirks and your flaws, because true happiness within yourself can only begin when you quit seeking validation and approval from everyone else and start living unapologetically as yourself. And hey, while we're at it, why don't we also start by telling ourselves the truth? I know that's not always easy. Sometimes it can be downright difficult and awfully uncomfortable. But as they say, honesty is the best policy and growth can't begin without it. And you can't move forward if you're not willing to face up to reality. And the truth might be tough to hear even when you're telling it to yourself, but it really is the only foundation on which progress can actually be made. Another thing on my list, acting with a bit more bravery and courage. Look, what's easy isn't necessarily what's right, and what's right does tend to be the hardest option, but it's the one that actually leads to real fulfillment. And I need to keep reminding myself about a quote. Maybe it's a mashup of several quotes by several different people, but the sentiment is, anyway, um, acting with bravery isn't the absence of fear, but taking action despite it. So I know when I'm feeling anxious or uncomfortable or nervous about doing something, I ask myself, is it easy or is it right? Am I telling myself the truth and am I being myself? And if the answer to all of those is yes, I know I'm on the right path. So stop waiting until it feels right or until the time is right, because chances are it never will be. All you need to do is just take that first step. That's all you can ask of yourself, and you'll find that all the steps after that come so much easier. And don't be afraid to make mistakes along the way. Allow yourself to make them. That's what helps you gather strength as you go. And can we stop framing mistakes as failures, because they're not? Mistakes are lessons in disguise. You learn from them, you adjust and adapt, you iterate, and you keep moving forward. Strength like that isn't built overnight. It takes patience and persistence, resilience, and the willingness to try again without beating yourself up. And here's what I think you're going to like. Spend some time in the present. We're always so focused on what happened to us in the past, or what will happen to us in the future, or what's coming next, that we completely forget about today. And today's not going to come around again, right? Life is happening now, right around you. And if you're too focused on the road ahead or in the rear vision mirror behind you, you're going to miss out on so much. And if you don't appreciate the moments that you're having today, or what memories are you building to look back on tomorrow? Finally, if you really want to introduce some change into your life, start by changing your perceptions. A shift in perspective can turn obstacles into opportunities or struggles into growth. And life happens, and it's not necessarily going to change, but if your view on it does, well, that can make all the difference. And it can turn negative experiences or thoughts or emotions into much more positive ones. So just pause, take it one step at a time, definitely be kind to yourself, and trust that you're on the right path. You are where you are meant to be right now in this moment. And if you need any further encouragement, just know that I know that you've got this. So let's agree to wipe the slate clean, begin again, and center your attention on what actually matters to you, so that you can create and sustain a life you respect and finally make 2025 a year to remember for the right reasons. So instead of wishing you a happy new year all over again, I hope that the year of the snake is a very auspicious one for you. I just don't know. I don't know how to end this. It's so hard.